All right, Power Hour live stream. We'll see what we get here. Kind of take a peek at what's going on here right now. Market tide, everything kind of sitting bid side right now. Just a lot of choppy, slow moving action right now. Obviously, your net impacts are led by Tesla. Not a lot of net put impacts here. I mean, SPY is your biggest one there, but I mean, Tesla, SPY, Apple are probably your three biggest there. Palantir a little bit. Just even kind of looking at the last 7 days, I mean, just a lot of volume. All right, had to fix the mic there a little bit. Just kind of hit on everything again a little bit. Just market tide, just everything's kind of net negative right now. I mean, a lot of bid side, everything's just bid side, and you do have some call volume picking up, but kind of zooming out the last 7 days, I mean, you're just not getting a lot of action. Obviously, with next week, with FOMC, we have a lot of earnings. We can kind of go over next week's stuff here as well. While we wait for some flow to come in here, let's pop up. We'll do earnings first. Okay, we're good there. Let's give her a minute. Internet's being a little slow. Okay, there we go. I mean, next week we got a jam-packed week here. I mean, Procter and Gamble, Royal Caribbean, PayPal, UPS, Visa, Starbucks. It's kind of your Tuesday earnings. Wednesday, one of your bigger days here. Nothing too interesting in the morning. After hours, obviously, Microsoft, Meta, Qualcomm, ARM. Could throw in a hood there too as well. Carvana, Ford. Interesting, but not major. eBay also. Thursday morning, MasterCard. And again, Thursday afternoon, Apple, Amazon are your big ones there. MicroStrategy and Coin could be interesting there. Friday, you got oil, Exxon, CV, Chevron. Almost said CVS. I'm like, that's not correct there. But yeah, really interesting week next week. A lot of economic stuff there. Hey, Luke, what's up? Let's pop out here. Just kind of going over next week's stuff as I wait for some flow to come in. Hey, Econ, Economic Wizard. Yeah, next week, a lot of job data, JOLTS, consumer confidence, ADP, GDP. Obviously, all eyes are on FOMC and Powell's presser. PCE, initial claims, non-farm payrolls, and the unemployment rate as well. So, jam-packed week next week. All right, you got a little action here. Let's see what we got. So 7 days on these overlap earnings right away, so I kind of disregard it just because you got that earnings flows. Obviously, always kind of anything earnings is going to be a gamble in my opinion. But yeah, interesting flow here, 430, 440. So let's take a peek at the flow. come in here. So spike in the IV there. That fill coming at the bid though, so keeping an eye there. So IV drops a little bit here, then comes back up. Spot coming in at the ask. Now IV drops again. Little tough one there. And with the earnings overlap, probably would pass on that. I mean, you're only 5% out of the money. It's pretty good premium, but we got earnings, and we had 11,000 open contracts. Let's just take a peek here. So it's for sure opening. This is in a previous whale. Yeah, those are interesting, but just with the earnings overlap. Let's look at these CELHs. Not earnings. Decent size. Let's take a peek here. So let's take a peek. So, okay, this, again, another interesting one. Let's pop these results down. Let's see, 4511. I'm trying to see where that ascending fill is here. So IV staying the same. So, okay, we got small little drop in the IV there. Pop back up. Then we got some flow coming here. So these CLHs look pretty decent here. 4-5. Well, again, another little tough one there because that IV drops. IV drops a little bit there, then comes back up. I just don't like that drop in the IV. Let's take a peek. How far? 5% out of the money. What's our premium? 136. Yeah, just not a lot of premiums here. A lot of bid side calls. Let's see what's causing that bid side call here. So this is what's causing our bid side call. Oh, nope, it's this guy right here. The 2 million. Let's take a peek. Alright, when did that 14? Okay, so you're pretty deep in the money and it's multi-leg, so kind of arbitrage-y. So let's take a peek here. And usually something that deep in the money I'm going to completely ignore, but yeah, it looks like it's a bearish spread there, so that drop in that call premium's kind of telling us that. Yeah, so that could be a decent little, maybe a small little scalp there. I just don't like it coming over the weekend because you got theta hitting those contracts throughout the weekend. So, interesting one there. Let's see these Pan West 7 days. Again, non-earnings. Not coming in right at the ask. Let's take a peek here. Definitely an opening trade. Looks like they might have added into their position here. Don't know for sure if that's the same whale. What's up, JT? So, okay, this is kind of why I always tell people, got to look at that raw flow, because here's your IV here. So looking at that spot, you're coming in at the ask, but then you see that IV dropping, spot price dropping. It's more on the ask side here, obviously, but another little drop in that IV from this level up here could be sells at the ask. Hard to know though. And I mean, you're not really seeing a lot of put premium as well on the day. It's just a lot of call volume. So these could be, and oh, it's 16% multi-leg too. Anything usually over 10, it's when I start to ignore that trade. Let's look at some of the flow from here. So those C calls are moving up 63. They're at 70 now, so up above 10%. SPY, small little ad there. Another 35,000 on that one. Jeez. Let's see what this candle looks like. Okay, let's come down here and look. So this was the original, let's see, so was it 13, so it was about 1:30 my time. I'm central. So okay, this is that other flow coming in here then, so 56. So yeah, these look like ads to me. Yep, and that IV is increasing, drops a little bit there, comes back up. I'm going to probably say those are ads, and then here's your big size here. So this is what's going to tell me it's probably a buy. Spike in that IV there, spike in the IV there, good size, good premium, that's where it's coming in there. That looks like an ad to this position, and those SPY calls moving up to 194, so about slightly green. EWZ, those have made a little move, 16 up to 18. The nets from our original entry, 85, they're trading about 94 right now. American Airlines, 38. Came up here in 44 on the day, but be down a little bit now. What do we have? Ding, let's see. Multi-leg. Oh, okay, let's look at these. Okay, so another earnings flow here. It's a lot of earnings flow. I mean, it's earnings season. This is some interesting flow here. No multi-leg, 3%. Almost 500,000. Does overlap earnings, obviously, but let's just take a look. So again, another one where that IV is kind of all over the place. Drops when it comes in. Drops there. And pops back up here. And obviously looking at the time-wise there, that's can make an assumption this is the same whale. I mean, that IV's dropping, then it comes back up. Let's look at that first page. 91, yeah, I mean, that IV's dropping here. And earnings flow obviously is always a gamble, so interesting there. How are we doing market tide wise? Just choppy. I mean, you look at that daily candle here. I mean, you're just not seeing a ton of that volume. Not a ton of volume today. I mean, not even at 40 million yet. And our 30-day average is about 61 million. So just a little over half of the typical volume. Move this over here. Disney 7. Okay, so again, not earnings flow, so let's take a peek. Not a ton of premium there, but let's just take a peek. Okay. So this looks good. I mean, it's coming in as a block trade, but you got some flow around it to kind of see how that IV reacts. So spike in that IV there. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd probably lean buys on these. Once I've seen this flow kind of come in here, I mean, spike there and then drop there. See if any more flow comes in on that. I mean, your put premium's coming up and your calls are going down. Let's see what else we got on Disney for today. So, and junk. Some long calls there. Yeah, not really a ton there. Let's see, what do we have coming now? So those micro strategies again earnings flow. So 432.5s now. Looks like it might be a momentum into close actually here. Two, yeah. So now this one, again, see that IV kind of dropping there. How far are these out of the money? 5% out of the money. So yeah, not super. I mean, if it's like 40% out of the money and just swinging over the weekend, that's a little dangerous with IV. Doing an ETF, yeah, those calls, those SPY calls were big. You got here RNA, so more earnings flow. That bid ask is just junk right there. So right off the bat, don't even look at that. Not even a fan of that. I know they were talking about the UNH earnings calls. I think it was a different one. Yeah, no, it was this one. Yeah, I mean, this is one I probably wouldn't even want to play earnings on. I mean, you're only 6% out of the money, but tough to know what's going to happen with earnings, especially with all the news coming around United Healthcare. And if any of you guys got any flow or charts you want me to pull up, just let me know and I can do that because it's a little slow. What's the market doing? Yeah, it's just been I mean, that's just choppy for the most part. Chop, small bounce, chop, small bounce, chop. Yeah. One of those trend slowing days. Alright, I heard a ding. So again, I mean, it's earnings season, so you gotta expect it. Overlaps earnings. Definitely an opener. A lot of call premium on the day. You're up 11% or 3% already. And then you have that drop in that IV there too. Yeah, just not a lot of good flow. Not a lot of good flow. KSS. So again, big surprise. Overlaps earnings. 9% on the money. Good call premium today. 98.70. Don't really have any flow to go off. Probably would say these are openers. Let's take a peek. So goofy little one there. Yeah, I mean, that's the one we were looking at. And probably lean openers on those if I had to guess. But again, you're going to overlap earnings. Maybe they're thinking Sydney Sweeney's going to endorse this next. I don't even know who shot. I don't even know if I think the Coles by Me actually closed. Let's see. How about these? Yeah, I mean, again, earnings. Earnings season is not fun for trading, and especially on low volume summer. This is like next week is a week to just be pretty cautious. Cautious with all the data and earnings next week. That is something to be aware of. Let's go into the options screen. Let's see how we're looking for. So I know they were talking about the BRKB puts in the chat a little bit earlier, but also these overlap earnings. So yep. All right, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. Let's see. So, I mean, dropping that IV right away, so that's getting my attention right there, but then you have that spike in that spot. And I mean, this is definitely a different, none of these are related, obviously, but it's kind of looking here. Let's see what else we got. I want to look at this BRKB, see if we got anything else. So your puts, so some bid side puts here. So yeah, that's a little something I would be watching there. So I wonder if these are short puts at the ask. Whoops, let's come back here. These may be short puts at the ask. Hard to know, and it does overlap earnings. I checked on that one. I want to look at those Nike calls. I actually just hit the tape too, and we'll come back here. So okay, doesn't overlap earnings. Good size. 3% out of the money. Okay, call premium picking up. Let's look at the flow. Let's come over here. Okay, so 20. Okay, so IV spike. Spot jumps. You're coming in at the ask. 745. Just following this up. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, so now we got a small drop in the IV. But then we pop back up. And that spot increases. So that's going to tell me it's a buy so far. And now, so this is where it kind of gets a little tricky because you have that drop in the IV here. You're still coming in at the ask, but if this was only like maybe 10 contracts or so, probably look past it, but 500 contracts with the drop in the IV, that's a little concerning, but we got some more up here too. So this is why I always say you got to look at that flow around it because this is 5 seconds after. So this is assumingly the same trader. So 27.88. So IV looks good here. You're coming in with your size and your premiums coming up. 28.19. So again, looking good. So you're about a minute after. I'm going to probably say that flow stopped being part of that main trade there. So I'm going to say these actually probably look like buys to me. This flow actually ends up looking good in the end. Have to see what happens, and you're only 3% out of the money with time. How do we look over the last 7 days? So kind of a spike in that put premium, but dropped off a little bit. Call premium ticking up a little bit now. What else we got for Nike today? All right, let's see. So the ask side calls 175 days out. Bid side puts, and I'm just taking a glance at these. The 8.8 ones that we just looked at. I mean, a majority of its ask side, you got a little bid side here on the calls. Yeah, I'd probably lean with those Nikes definitely being openers. So 69, and JT can always attest that usually the flow that we look at in the live stream always makes a good move. So again, yeah, I see this is the thing with earnings. You're just going to keep having flow hit that tape out. Like now you have some above the ask puts coming in here, and it looks like it's a block trade. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see flow around it. So, I mean, this is your flow before it. So again, this one reads as a buy too. So that's with earnings flow. You just got to kind of take it all with a grain of salt. So again, more calls coming in there. All right, we'll come back over here until see something else. So yeah, I mean, there's your micro strategies that we're hitting the tape. But earnings, don't even risk it. 84. Let's see. Pop this over a little bit. 84. Let's see. 119. Take a peek at these. Why am I getting another hit? So let's see. This was 10,000. What do we got here? 41. 5. So about 7,000 between that and this. So probably little ads here. I know it's earnings season sucks. Yeah, these, I mean, oh, and your 50% multi-leg pass. All right, back to this. Let's see. So again, earnings. So Intel, okay, we got some puts that don't overlap earnings. And like 9% down, that's hard for me to chase. 84 days, you can get a better entry. So 7, this is junk. Let's take a peek at the Intels though. Yeah, I mean, these look like buys until you kind of get up here in the end. Probably lean with these as buys, but I mean, you got a lot of bid side premiums here, so. And you're down almost 10% on the day. Probably a chase. Let's see. Yeah, there's just, I mean, this is why we've been lacking setups this week. Just everything's kind of overlapping earnings. I mean, by a week, or it's a weekly, and not getting caught in that. How about these? So these don't overlap earnings. 301K. 2023. So again, IV kind of dropping. Then this is what flow is, a lot of it. You're just kind of looking through it and getting rid of the bad flow. There's really not, I mean, you'll see a lot of people just posting ask side flow as a buy. You're not going to get that many flow, good pieces of flow in a day. It's very, very, I mean, maybe 5 at the max that will look super good. And like next week, obviously you're going to be a little busier on intro week, so you could see more alerts then. But on a day like this, you shouldn't be seeing somebody post 30 different alerts. But let's look at these. So okay, spike in the IV. So okay, these viscos look pretty good. Trying to see where that descending fill is. Where's my descending fill? 3. So like, okay, that IV drops a little bit there. You're still coming in towards the ask a little bit. $200 on that trade out of, how big was that trade? Let's see. Out of 244,000. I would lean buys on these. You're 8% out of the money. Good to me there. You can always just pop in the contract, look up, and just kind of filter it by premium, see what else is getting hit. So yeah, that's your top chain on the, or this is your top chain on the day. Was that the 30, where were we? 23 call. So yeah, that's your second best chain on the day. I would probably lean buys on those as well, and that's your biggest volume on the day as well. So yeah, those viscos look like buys there. And like the Tesla's 240 puts, and that's a weekly or 24% out of the money. Probably not gonna see a good return on those. Just with, I mean, you're gonna have Theta eat these away, I think. Let me look and see if this has theta on it. I never actually really... Okay, so we got theta. So you're going to lose 46 cents. So Monday is what, the 28th? So the 28th, you would need to see about a 10% drop for profits. So, I mean, even if it's a 6% drop, you're still going to be down on those. So, yeah, like that, that's kind of junk there. You see it coming above the ask, and you're like, hey, it's above the ask. Like, yeah, it's above the ask, but you're, what was it, 24% out of the money? Yeah, no. Nope. How are we doing market tide-wise? Just brutal. I mean, put premium's kind of picking up there, but that call volume's really up. It's led by Tesla mostly. Last 10 minutes might be kind of interesting to see what happens there. So again, there's your weeklies coming in. I can guarantee you if you went on Twitter and kind of took a peek, I'm sure you could see some people posting those MSTR weeklies. Oh, yeah, these days suck. It'd be nice to just get some action. Man, we've been just sitting neutral here too for a little bit. What is this doing today? Let's see. Huh. Let's take a peek at these. Came in 36% on the day. Where's that big trade here? Somebody came in here, so 57,000. Yeah, somebody is happy on these. Coming in at the bid. Another little low. Oh, here you go. 1,000 at 135. This came in at 833. So yeah, that volume was less than that open interest though. Yeah, a lot of bid side calls getting hit there. So again, that's why I'm always saying not everything bid side is a sell. I mean those. Let's see. Yeah, that's. I mean, you can see that's almost split there, bid side to ask side. It's kind of like to look at the data here, especially when it's a little slower like this. Right, let's go back to the Tide page here. See what else we got. Oh yeah, take it. Okay, 7 day. Again, earnings flow. Probably just skip over that. Who's your biggest gainer today? So I want to do like a decent stock. Let's do. We can do. Elastic here. So 21,000. Tell me the puts. Let's see what got hit. Yeah, just multi-leg stuff too. Like pre-market gainers are down here. So let's see. We'll look at deck because those little small ones I don't like. Let's look at deck. Let's look at yesterday. Yeah, I'm not really seeing if there was a specific opener there. That's funny. $1 into 728. Something's gotta be, yeah. Something might be messed up in here anyways. Yeah, I know sometimes mine will actually turn off too. Let's look at a different one here. Let's do an unusual volume one. We'll look at these. Just a lot of bid side stuff here. So a lot of bid side stuff yesterday. Looks like it dropped obviously a big chunk today. And actually I want to go back here. Let's see. Yeah, most of that's bid side premium. Even some more back here. Yep, like you can see how that IV dropped there as that came in. You're coming in at the ask, but IV's dropping, so looks like they sold those and obviously selling those there. I wish they had the contract price on the candle there. But yeah, nice little drop in that stock there, obviously, if they sold them. Let's look at another one. Just trying to find one with very minimal. Okay, so there's barely any volume on that, guys. Let's take a peek. So bid side here and then spiked. I'll ask side. How much was that candle premium? So 5,000. There must have been more somewhere else. Oh, maybe these ask side guys here. What's that? Let's see. Candle. Like 20, 17. So about 50 contracts there. So then there's your candle. So yeah, my guess is these 3 right here probably closed here. So turning that. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it's kind of nice looking at the upgrades, and I mean, you just see, I mean, a lot of the times if you can get flow that matches it, it looks good. So look at these Palantir, so again, earnings. And that's the only thing that kind of, oh, hey, these are, we'll look at these and then we'll go back to the rating talk. So put premium coming up, calls down, short-term puts, spike in that IV, another spike in that IV, spots increasing. Then you got a drop in the IV there, and that is pretty big size there too. Probably pass on those, and it's over the weekend, 2% of the money. Yeah, the upgrades here, I wanna come in here. Yeah, that's a, you just gotta keep up on them, because I mean, like in the morning I had nothing for sales. I mean, I only got 1 sell obviously today, but these things come in, I mean, all day. So I mean, it's hard to keep track of it, but you get a good idea of them pre-market, kind of see what's going on. And especially if it's like a bigger kind of group too. Like if it's a bigger analyst, you can see a little more movement as well. Yeah, we'll go look at the Tesla. I always do it from the other page. I never really do it from this area. So let's see. Analyst ratings. We'll just put everything on here for today. See what we got for Tesla today. So 625. Okay, so you only had, looks like this was your guy for today. So it got downgraded to a hold, and it's doesn't always make sense what they do with their targets. Like, hey, you're gonna get dropped down to a hold, and then the target gets raised. It's goofy sometimes how that works, and you never know why somebody is downgrading, upgrading something. Like, hey, if I'm a hedge fund and I want to get out of shares, I'm going to upgrade. If I'm a hedge fund and want to get cheap shares on something, downgrade, get people to dump the stock, and then you pick it up. A lot of little things that these people do. So again, what a surprise, earnings flow. A lot of earnings flow. Little dump there. What's the market doing here? Just no action, just bad price action. One of those days. I need to clean this up anyways. See, maybe might get a little action into close here and be kind of nice to get something. Long-term flow. Let's take a peek. Pretty much a penny stock there. Man, that Ivy is spiked on that. Down 8% on the day. Yeah, I mean, something like this, I don't consider earnings flow. I mean, you're 140 days out. You're probably not playing earnings there. Let's see, how do we do on earnings, though? I mean, mixed bag of earnings. I mean, downside, downside. Just flat, 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 flat. That's just the way to play earnings, though. I mean, if you're actually bearish on something, get long term. I mean, you're not going to probably get as Ivy Crush. I mean, this one's a little different because it's so high. Tide picking up at all. Just batting. I mean, you look at the last 2 weeks almost. I mean, just flat. Flat, flat, flat. I mean, the little spike in call premium and see moving up there. Just the last 30 days, I mean, had a little more action back here beginning of June, but still waiting to see what happens. I mean, there was a lot of put premium here, and we didn't really see a big move down. I mean, you're seeing call premiums kind of dump too, so that's a little interesting to me to see what happens. Yeah, this is cool. I don't think I noticed that the market sentiment changes as you pop this out. So what were we at here? This was 51.4. Let's just do the last 2 days. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'm just crazy. Alright, I heard a ding. More of those stupid weeklies coming in. Somebody's gonna get hurt on earnings, or they're gonna be very happy. And, you know, they could be playing an IV increase too, because, you know, especially MicroStrategy, you're gonna see a lot of people try to play that. Yeah, all eyes will be on the Fed, though, in earnings next week. Oh, hey, look at that. The out-of-money call premiums just kind of spiked there a little bit. Is it because of coin? Yeah, coin got a big spike there. Caused that spike. So it looks like this might be your reason why you had that out of the money 2.5 call. Yeah, let's take a peek at this. Because I'm sure this matters. 100% multi, like 131. 99% in the money. Like, this is just garbage. No reason to even do anything with this. You're just owning the underlying, essentially. So if that is your reason why that in the money did, yeah, everybody was playing it. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't meme stock it. But yeah, let's see. So you're out of the money. That's why you spiked there. Come back here. Okay. Oh, and then it dropped it. Maybe it just glitched a little bit there. That was kind of strange. It's just going to be a flat finish, isn't it? Choppy end to the day. Oh, I may just call it a stream here because we're just not going to see a lot of action here in the close. Actually, SPY looks like it's kind of dropping a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we're just hitting 43 million on the volume, and here comes your volume on the day. Volume on the day is just brutal, brutal, brutal. Man, those April lows though. I'm so mad at myself for not holding those December calls still. I mean, that is, I mean, from that lows up to now, I mean, that's a 32% gain. And I sold my calls around here too, around that 552. I think I got them, I know I got them a day earlier, a couple days earlier. It was like 510 and it dropped. I was like, oh shit. Well, it's always going to be dip buyers, especially in the index funds. You only get a couple of these a year and you got to capitalize on them. I mean, unless you're back in 2021 when they started tightening policy again. Yeah, I'd take another one of these. I'll take another one of these. And speaking of that, since we're kind of looking at that, JT, I know you're big on Gamma too. Just kind of looking at that daily Gamma, I mean, I'm curious to see what happens here because, I mean, your price is still extending, but hasn't caught up to Gamma yet, so that's... I wouldn't want to go long here, I don't think. I mean, at least option-wise. So let's see, when we were... So let's see, 12.18. I mean, this was almost 3 months here of just kind of staying up, and then this is 5. I mean, hey, you're coming up to August almost, about 3 months. Are we going to see a small little drop in here? Very interesting. Yeah, that price is getting very diverged from that Gamma. I heard a ding. Oklo 7 days. Okay, these are interesting. A lot of volume already on it, though. Okay, 176. 88. So, yep, I would say these are buys. Just taking a quick peek at them. There's your size, premium, IV spike. 30% multi-leg. Okay, ignore me. Never mind. If it wasn't multi-leg, I'd say those look good. But Theta is going to eat those up over the weekend. Barring a big move, obviously. SPY coming down a little bit. I mean, you had no fundamental change in the market. Usually on these slow-moving days like this, there's no fundamental change in the market. You see that slow grind up. You usually see a little drop towards the end of the day. Not always, but just kind of something, and vice versa. I mean, you see a drop and there's no change in the market. You're going to kind of come up and possibly finish flat. I mean, look at the last couple days. I mean, where are we going to finish here? I mean, came up, down, up. I mean, that was just chop. This one obviously a little bit more. I think we had news here on Wednesday though. But I mean, again, for the most part, drop, and then you see we come up and kind of finish flat. Again, up, finish flat. Small little drop there. But I mean, you don't see any major fundamental changes in the market, so you're going to see those, maybe a good pop and then drop, and then, or vice versa, drop and then a small pop into close. I'm just kind of looking at the daily. I mean, you're just slowly kind of grinding up. In summertime, obviously, a lot lower volume, so I mean, for the most part, I mean, this is just I mean, your $3 move here. I mean, decent for scalpers, but 0-day you're going to get chopped up too. Oh, get out of here. Okay. Oh man, Trump's talking. Great. Talk after market hours because I'm not trying to see volatility. All right, everybody. I'm going to probably hop off, though. We're not going to get anything else for the last couple minutes. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out for the stream. Sorry it was a little boring, but hopefully next week's a little more fun. All right, have a great weekend, everyone.